Join me when I make protein-packed chopped salads for a picnic on the go with my friends. You don't want to miss it. Welcome back to season 4 of Simply Cooking by MmmChef. New season, new kitchen, and it's actually my kitchen. This is the first season that we'll be filming in my own home. So here it is the middle of summer, and nothing is more fun than going on a picnic with your friends. So today I'm going to be packing a picnic for my friends and I to take to the beach later this afternoon, and who doesn't love a take on chicken, egg, or tuna salad? So today I'm going to be making 3 versions of high protein salads, including chickpeas, tuna, and chicken. So the very first salad that I'm going to be working on is my curried salad. But first I need to drop these lovely farm fresh eggs into this boiling water for 7 minutes so that I have them ready for my tuna salad, which I'll be doing in the next segment. Oops, that's real TV. I have some celery here that I'm just going to chop up while I tell you what I'm going to be doing. So celery is in all 3 of my recipes. The first one we're doing is a chickpea salad with a yogurt curried dressing. The second salad we're going to be doing is my take on a tuna nicoise, which will have green beans, radishes, olives, and these boiled eggs here. And then the third salad we're going to be doing is a Jamaican chicken salad. Oh, do you guys hear that noise from my brand new induction cooktop? We'll just take that lid off, it'll help us. I'm gonna get all the celery to the side here because I'm going to use it for all 3 of my recipes. And since it's my house, 25-second rule. I am going to make the dressing in the bottom of my bowl here. So I have some very thick Nordic style yogurt. You can use coconut yogurt, cow yogurt, goat yogurt, and if you don't eat yogurt, you could even use mayo in this dressing. Nice little 2 scoops. That is, see how thick that is? Then I have a little bit of Dijon mustard here. Put that in there. Then I've got a fresh lemon. I'm gonna give it a nice roll. We'll slice that. Doesn't really even have any seeds, which is nice. So all of these recipes can be done for a picnic, eaten in a salad, in a wrap, in a sandwich, but they can also be done at the beginning of the week for meal prep. And you can have these salads ready to go. Did you see that lemon squirt everywhere? Good thing it didn't get in my eye. 2 little seeds here. I've got a garbage below me, which is where I'm getting rid of everything. All right. Got some curry powder over here. Put that in. I like to be generous. I've got some Himalayan salt. Nice little strong pinch of that. And a few turns of freshly cracked pepper. Give this a good stir. All right, look how thick that dressing is because of the super thick yogurt. My friends at New Grocery here in Ottawa, Zero Waste Grocery Store, is where I get this yogurt. It is fantastic. All right, so in this curried dressing, we have chickpeas. We have some red onion, which I'm going to be using in another recipe as well. I didn't cut these on camera because I promised myself that I wouldn't cut onions on camera in season 4 again because every time I cry. But for some reason, I probably will end up cutting onions because it always works out that way. We've got some celery and I've got some delicious cashews. I'm gonna give these a quick little chop. You can use anything that has a little bit of crunch. I've chosen to use cashews here because it goes really nicely with the curry, but you could certainly use pumpkin seeds, walnuts, sunflower seeds, or if you have friends that you're feeding that, you know, may have an allergy to nut or seeds, you can just omit that completely. All right, let me grab a mixing spoon here. Oh, that looks delicious. Okay, I'm going to set this to the side, and I'm actually going to be making my own lentil wraps, which are a really cool thing. They only have 2 ingredients. They're gluten-free, and you make them kind of like a crepe. So they get poured in the frying pan, and we flip them over kind of like a pancake, but then they're nice and savory to fill with ingredients like a chickpea or chicken or egg salad. So let me put this in the fridge, and I will grab my Vitamix and my soaked lentils. So these are some lentils that I have soaked for the last 4 hours. You can soak them overnight. And if you have a strong blender like mine, you actually don't really even need to soak them. But I do just for good measure. They are so soaked that they're stuck inside here. So what we do is we do 1 part lentils to 2 parts water. So I'm gonna fill this jar with water twice. And then I'm going to add a pinch of salt. And that's it. A nice pinch of salt. And look, my eggs are boiling. So let me grab these. I've got 1 minute left on my eggs. So I have these beautiful green beans here that I'm going to be using in my tuna recipe. So I'm just going to drop these into the water with the eggs so that I don't waste another pan and make another pan dirty. And those will stay there for a minute. And then on the break, I'm going to add the 2 jars of water to this and blend this up really nice and smooth. And then after the break, we'll put them in the frying pan to make them all into actual wraps. And we'll start working on my tuna niçoise salad. All right, I think actually it's been almost a minute. It's been about 45 seconds. So I think that's enough because these are some farm fresh eggs and they happen to crack a little bit, but that's actually okay because we're going to be chopping them up into the next salad. We'll see you after the break.
Be sure to follow Daniela on Instagram at MmmChef for all the latest posts, including behind-the-scenes looks of the Simply Cooking set and some delicious culinary creations that will definitely make you hungry. And if you've missed an episode, don't worry because we have you covered. You can tune in or set your PVR to one of the rebroadcasts or log on to rogerstv.com/Ottawa or our YouTube page to check out all of our previous seasons and episodes.
I blended my lentil batter. It is sitting in the Vitamix waiting for me. I'm going to turn on my pan here to get it nice and warm. This is a new stovetop for me, so I'm still learning. There we go, that's what I wanted. And I have my 2 perfectly boiled eggs. So this chopped salad is my take on a niçoise, but instead of it being like a salad that you eat out of a bowl, it's chopped up like a chicken or chickpea salad that we can put inside a wrap or a sandwich. So I have these beautifully blanched green beans that I blanched with the eggs. I'm going to add them into the, actually, I'm going to make the dressing in the bottom of here first. So I actually have a little bit of mayonnaise, just a nice little scoop because mayonnaise definitely goes with tuna. I have some apple cider vinegar just to give a little bit of acidity. A nice generous pinch of salt. Very generous amount of freshly cracked pepper and mustard. What you'll notice about these recipes is they actually have a lot of similar ingredients. And you could just do, you know, like mustard, mayo, salt and pepper. You don't really have to add all these other things. I'm just doing it to kind of make it more exciting. So I've got my dressing basically on the go here. And this is a can of tuna that I have drained. I'm gonna add that in with our lovely green beans. I've got these 2 radishes for crunch. Radishes I don't think are part of a typical traditional niçoise salad, but I love them. And especially in the summertime when they're nice and fresh and peppery, they really add a nice depth of flavor to the tuna salad. If you don't like the spiciness of radish, you can leave it out completely. We've got that. And like I mentioned, there's celery in all of them. So a little bit of celery and a little bit of red onion. And then this is how I like to chop a boiled egg. Cut it in half again, and then I kind of just use my knife to chop it. I like my egg a little bit soft, so not totally, cooked super hard. I find that the softness of the yolk really helps to add to the flavor and the texture of the dressing. All right, let me feel this pan. That's getting nice and warm for my lentil wraps. Okay, so as you know, most of the stuff I've done on my show is gluten-free. So that's why I wanted to include these wraps. There's something I've discovered over the last year that are such a cool thing for people who are following a gluten-free diet. You can use them as a savory wrap, as I said, but you can add things to them like fresh herbs or garlic or onion to give it an even more depth of savory flavor. Or you could actually even make them into sweet wraps. You could, add some maple syrup or honey. You could add some cinnamon, and then you could use them like a super high protein crepe. Okay, so my tuna salad is to the side here. My pan is getting nice and hot. I've got some olive oil here. Just gonna make sure that I get it all around the pan. And I think it's a little bit hot, so we're gonna turn that down. Okay, let's see if this works. I've only made these a few times, so hopefully on TV it works for me. So this is what we're supposed to do. You can see the texture of the lentils there. I'll spread it out nice and thin and make a nice circle shape for myself. All right. And you know what? If they're not perfect, it doesn't really matter, because they'll taste just as delicious. Okay, I'm gonna let that cook, and I'm going to let bubbles come up like you would with a pancake. To go along with this picnic, I'm going to have the 3 protein salads, some wraps, some bread, and I thought I'd also throw together a quick, simple coleslaw because I already had the ingredients in my fridge. So I have this bag of chopped cabbage that whenever I have the end of a cabbage, I tend to just chop it up and throw it into a bag. You guys know me about meal prep and not wasting, so that's what I've done with this. I'm going to make the dressing in the bottom of the bowl. We've got a nice generous spoonful of mustard. We have some apple cider vinegar. Oh, and I need some sweetness to go along with that. We have some sugar, a nice pinch of salt, some pepper, and I'll give this a quick whisk. We'll throw this cabbage slaw with a little bit of leftover carrot in there. I'll get rid of that. I have some tongs here. Oh, look at that. You can see the bubbles starting to form on the edges of the crepe or wrap or whatever you want to call it. Got this beautiful coleslaw that we're going to pack up into containers, and I have this really cool picnic basket that my husband Wendell and I have had for like 20 years, and I'll get that out and we'll pack it up ready for our picnic lunch. And I actually am missing one ingredient on this niçoise. I have some Kalamata olives here. A traditional niçoise salad has olives. So I'm just gonna give this a nice quick chop. We're going to be transferring everything into different containers. So I will mix these in once I get my other containers out, because I need to check this. I had a little spatula, oh here it is, inside my Vitamix container. I'm just gonna try to lift the edges. You see what I'm doing? Trying to lift the edges. I think it needs a little bit longer to cook. So on the break, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to stand here and make a whole bunch of crepes. I'll let this get really hot. Maybe I'll turn it up a little bit and I'll try to flip it like a pancake. And we'll see you after the break if I can actually get these to form.
Food and discussion go hand in hand. Join the conversation on Instagram at MmmChef. Send us your questions. Tell us what you think. Tell us what you like to make. Maybe even send a picture of your own culinary creations. Good food, bringing people together for centuries. Be sure to follow Daniela on Instagram at MmmChef for all the latest posts, including behind-the-scenes looks of the Simply Cooking set and some delicious culinary creations that will definitely make you hungry. After all, we do eat with our eyes.
I've got my coleslaw here and I'm going to start packing my PicNic. So I'm going to pack all of these salads into different containers with the breads and wraps and things and lettuce in different little pieces of parchment so that when we're having our picnic, we can actually just like build your own as we go. So my coleslaw is ready. I'm going to get that in my beautiful picnic basket. And I've got a bowl here to do my pineapple chicken salad. But first, actually, I'm going to pack up this beautiful romaine that we can use either as the lettuce inside of our sandwich or wraps, or for those who don't eat bread or wraps or what have you, who want lower carb, we can use the lettuce as wraps themselves. I love to use parchment paper to wrap stuff up. It's really nice and convenient and it doesn't waste plastic. Look at these beautiful wraps that I made. They've got a lovely sheen and are nice and flexible. For gluten-free, that's pretty great. Whoops, cheers. Get those in the picnic basket. Okay, so I've got some roasted chicken. If you've watched my show before, you know that I love to either buy a rotisserie chicken and pull it apart for the week, or I love to roast whole chickens. I did that in season 1 in a meal prep episode where I roasted a whole chicken and pulled it apart to use in multiple different recipes throughout the week. So this is the end of my rotisserie chicken that I bought a few days ago. And no better way to use up some roasted or cooked chicken than to put it into a chicken salad. So this chicken salad recipe is a Jamaican chicken salad. It's not actually a recipe that I found or anything. It's a recipe that I've kind of made up. Every year, Wendell and I get to enjoy a few weeks in Jamaica. And this past January, we spent some time in our own little apartment cooking for ourselves. And this is a recipe that I came up with, and it's freaking delicious. I have remade it quite a few times. I have a few different versions. You can add different things to it, but this one's my favorite version. So we have the chopped up chicken. We have the last of that celery. We have the last of the red onion. We have half of a chopped pineapple. We have a lime. Get that all nice and soft and juicy. Squeeze that in there. Oh, really juicy lime. Look at that. All right, wipe my hands. We have some very hot red pepper. So if you don't like spice, this is where you could use a chopped up red bell pepper, or you could use even like a lovely roasted red pepper or grilled red pepper, or you can omit this altogether. I like a little bit of spice, and Jamaican food definitely has a little bit of spice. So I'm going to use a little of this hot pepper sauce. You could also use like chili flakes here, or a chopped up jalapeno, or some type of hot pepper that you like, or even just like a squirt of hot sauce would work well. I have some dried sultana raisins, which are basically dried green grapes. I love the texture in here, and you do find raisins in some Jamaican recipes. This doesn't really have much of a dressing. It just will have a drizzle of olive oil, the lime juice that we've already put on there, a nice generous pinch of Himalayan salt over the shoulder for good luck, and again, a nice generous amount of freshly cracked black pepper. Oh, this is my favorite. This one is probably all for me. Okay, so I have my chicken salad ready, which could be made with chickpeas or white beans and turned into a vegetarian dish. Runaway pineapple. I have my nicoise salad with tuna, egg, and olives. So that chickpea curried salad that I made earlier, I was in a little bit of a rush and I forgot 2 of the most important ingredients. Well, actually not most important. You could eat it without these, but these 2 ingredients definitely bring it up to the next level. So I have an apple here that I'm just going to give a quick chop to. And I have some red grapes. You could use green grapes as well, or you could use raisins. But because I'm using raisins in the Jamaican-inspired chicken salad, I didn't want to use raisins in this one. So we're going with red grapes. I'm a little bit rushy, so I shall slow down a little bit for you. Okay, we've got some chunked apples going into our curried salad. And I will slice probably about 10 grapes to go in there. And then we will pack up our picnic basket and take it on the go. So today I'm doing this all for a picnic, but what would work really well for all of these recipes, like I mentioned earlier, you could use them for meal prep, and you could meal prep this for the rest of the week. You could also take this like to the cottage or on a road trip. This stuff all travels really well in a cooler. And if you have vegetarians or vegans or people who, don't eat beans or are paleo or low carb or whatever, each one of these recipes is really easy to change up and make that way. Like the mayo, you could use a vegan mayo, or you could just use lemon juice and olive oil. This chicken salad could be chickpeas. The chickpea salad could be chicken, all that stuff. So I've got my beautiful, now that's what I'm talking about, this beautiful curried apple chickpea salad. So I've got my containers, start packing up everything to take on the picnic. And I've got some fresh fruit that I'll also be packing for our beautiful picnic lunch. And I've got my awesome picnic basket here. So put that to the side. All right, so I'm going to get this all packed up, and then I'm going to head out for an awesome picnic. I hope that you guys try one of these recipes, and if you do, make sure you reach out to me and send me a picture, because nothing brings me more joy than seeing people redo things that I've done on my show. See you next time.
Be sure to follow Daniela on Instagram at MmmChef for all the latest posts, including behind-the-scenes looks of the Simply Cooking set and some delicious culinary creations that will definitely make you hungry. And if you've missed an episode, don't worry, because we have you covered. You can tune in or set your PVR to one of the rebroadcasts, or log on to rogerstv.com/Ottawa or our YouTube page to check out all of our previous seasons and episodes.